This emergency broadcast has been authority issued by the police and the Scientific Research Department. As of recently an unknown airborne virus has been discovered, and they have said that this virus has something to do with the devil sharks. There is only one recorded message that will be provided from them, so please stand by.
My name is Dr. Stuart Gimpelson. As of recently, my team and I have been tasked to do two things. One, to review the tape of the Devil Sharks' original show, The Street Sharks, which was contained as a cursed version of the Volume 1 of the first 3 episodes, which serves as the three-parter of the Street Sharks' origins. However, the other team were actually tasked to research and try to discover an unknown contagion within the Devil Shark's skin samples, or tissue, specifically. However, we haven't got much until we were received with 2 results. One result is that the first team that were tasked to actually review the first episode had one of the members pass out after vomiting while watching the show. However, that same person was later then transferred into the scientific research facility in one of the containment pods where he'll be kept preserved so that he can finally be cured or be considered as dead. However, while trying to do some research, it's been stated that somehow he managed to survive without even dying. Or wherever you want to say that it is, because the computer did say he was dead, but somehow his heart was still beating. So, after trying to figure out what the problem was, unexpectedly, the subject eventually broke out of its containment pod and started morphing and disfiguring itself, while also reforming himself into this strange creature resembling to that of one of the devil sharks, proving that this unknown contagion that the second team were tasked to find were actually summoned from that said tape. Somehow, wherever this is, the devil sharks must have brought this strange, uncontrollable virus. Not much was found out, but we do actually know that this strange, very uncertainly interdimensionally otherworldly virus actually has the ability to spread throughout its mitosis, actually. When this is in fact a part of the infection, the blood cells remain somewhat normal. But as they start to multiply with mitosis, some sort of thing, the clone of that blood cell doesn't look identical to the one that it came from, but rather in fact looks like a giant red spike. Sort of. This main fact indicate that this infection came from the devil sharks. As the subject is going through this transformation, the blood cells will eventually multiply, with its clones being something like how I mentioned earlier, a giant red spiked organism. Blood cell. This means that this is something that the devil shark's blood cells could in fact look like just after they were genetically modified. Also, we've been giving some reports of an unidentified race of sentient mutated sea creatures that are unrelated to the devil sharks. However, they do come from a similar origin, but their characteristics are somewhat different. Eyewitnesses don't know what these things are, but we will get into more information about that. However, some of the team of mine and I have sent out an investigator to interview a family of a wife and 2 kids. The father hasn't returned home, mainly because their father must have been one of the employees during the first devil shark attack, where he was brutally killed and was eaten alive without his family even noticing it. However, his wife was sent out to see where her husband was after that night. But however, we also came to inform you that you should probably keep yourselves away from this infection, because we're unfortunately going to have to quarantine this city until we can get this further out of the way. So, here's what my best advice for you all to survive through this virus. For one, stay at home, keep yourself quarantined, keep your family safe, and make sure that a devil shark does not enter your home. Get a weapon prepared at all times, and also try to eat some healthy food that doesn't even relate to anything related to that of burgers or shakes, because that's something that the devil sharks can in fact eat and infect. Another thing is that you should never make contact with someone that's infected by this virus. Because if you do, they'll eventually start using cannibalistic nature that also comes from the devil sharks themselves. They'll spread this virus, and this virus would actually carry some side effects. These symptoms contain something related to the wild animalistic nature or the taste for blood. Another thing is that they should end up digging under the ground, causing the subject that's infected by this symptom to have the ability to burrow or dig underground and have their fins sticking up under the surface of that ground. Or some of these symptoms would also cause the subject's characteristics to mutate something related to that, the devil sharks. If you notice that some of their skin would start to change color in a form of a reversed skin color related to that, the devil sharks, or some of them replacing human teeth with shark-like teeth, their eyes becoming more drowsy, a bit more uncanny, or something related to that, and I have to unfortunately inform you that you should prepare your weapon and put them out of their misery. I'm sorry, but that's the one thing that you need to survive throughout this infection. Another thing is you always keep using your vitamins so you would be safe from this infection. Another thing I would also like to confirm you to use is after you take your vitamins, use water to actually drain down your vitamins into your stomach so you would prevent yourself from getting infected. Anyway, that's anything I can do to best to record for this message. But anyways, that's my last recording for this, for now. Just try to stay tuned and try to keep up with the situation that we're having at this point, what we're coming across with. Well, anyway, we'll keep you informed with something related to the situation. Thank you for spending your time with us and try to help understand this alert, and have a nice evening.
And that everyone was a message from Dr. Stuart Jempelson. Now, however, with that everyone, we must stay clean. And make sure to stay safe as well. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Well, great. Now what? Certainly common sense, I guess. Might as well come up with a new plan. What do you mean? That's right, the water. We talk about they'll use that for their vitamins. Yes, they will, but we'll contaminate before they do. Sorry to interrupt you, but I don't think it's gonna work. What he means is we have another way we can end humanity. Faster. Oh. That's right, Munchmeisters, and I know exactly how we're gonna do it.